I'm 24 female and I live on my own out of my parents' house. I have a bit of a situationship going on with my friend. We'll call him David, 24 male. We had a fling a few months ago and now it's kind of happening again. It started out, they were like father and son in a way. Whoa. Until David and I had our fling, now my dad is trying to control him, telling him he is to have no contact with me outside of a group chat. We're all in. We think this is stupid. A few weeks ago, we were hanging out and we went to Five Below to get snacks and just hang out. While we were there, my parents walked in. They don't live in the same city as me. I live about 20 minutes away from them and they just randomly showed up at the store right by my house. They claimed it was to find battery. At that point, my dad confronted David and said that he told him not to be around me and he told him he isn't gonna care anymore and not to go crying to him when I get heartbroken. Mom texted me later saying it was totally the Holy Spirit revealing that something was happening so they can intervene. I'm kind of glad that that happened because after David and I left, that opened up a conversation about what's going on between us. They're like, okay, my parents are getting really involved. Are we involved? We both enjoy our company and we both have feelings for each other, but we're taking it slow. While we were talking, my dad is texting me 3-page essays on why I'm stupid for not doing as he says and that he's no longer invested. He told me David only wants me for one thing and doesn't care about me as much as he does, and that if David's in love with me, he'd ask him for permission to date his daughter and play by his rules. David told me he does really care about me and that it's a lie that he doesn't. Anyways, we decided to continue hanging out, especially since my dad said he no longer cares. He for sure cares. He's like, I don't care anymore. What? But that's really weird, and your dad is definitely crossing so many boundaries. Both have annual passes to Disneyland, so we decided to go together after work. While we were there, my mom and dad texted me asking if I was at Disneyland. I ignored their texts. We were there till closing, and as we were walking out, my dad walked up to us with a Starbucks bag and asked to talk. David kept walking and said no, and of course, me wanting to keep the peace, begged David to, and he said no. Totally fair, honestly. I told him I'm his ride, and he said he'd just get an Uber, and I told him no, so I just left my parents there and left. I cried in the car, and David told me it's not my fault. While I was in the car, I texted my mom how she knew I was there, and she said, God is watching. And I asked again how she knew, and she said she'd meet me at my house and tell me, and I said, no, you will not meet me at my house. That's weird. Mom, how did you know I was at Disneyland? She stopped messaging me, and then my dad messaged me this. OP, if you want to know how we knew you were there, you could talk to us in person. We brought peace, and we tried to be loving, even though I knew David was doing stuff that he said he wouldn't do. I just want him to care for you as much as I do, and your mother does. But you're gonna find out, honey, and it's really sad. He had every opportunity right there to confess his love for you and to ask us for space. We could have had a good discussion, but instead he was a coward and ran away. From here on out, you're not to come to my home. We can meet in public to talk about how we knew you were at Disneyland because we had every intention of telling you, and that was going to be a part of the conversation, how we were following you and stalking you. I've never lied to you and I never will. I do not have anything to hide. That conversation could have been great and we're still willing to have it. But David, sadly, is not. I did nothing to deserve the treatment from him that we got, and I've never treated him any way other than I would treat a good son, I hope. And I pray that he doesn't do what I know he's gonna do. Wolves come into the sheep, and they separate the sheep from the flock, and then they devour the sheep. But the good shepherd will protect you, and if David ever was a sheep, he'll listen to the voice of God, the people that loved him and cherished him. I love you, OP, and I wish nothing but the best for you. If you want to talk, we're willing to talk to you about anything you want to know. I responded with, Dad, I don't expect him to be in love with me. That's way too soon. And if you don't want to hide the truth, just explain how you knew I was there. I will not be meeting in person for a conversation that can be had over text. He then responded with, then don't meet me. That's how it's going to come out because you need to see my demeanor and everything. And shame on you guys for trying to point the finger back at us. You guys are the one that are not doing right and hiding. Literally every box that was checked for you to like David was erased by David. All the things that you liked about him are now gone, and it was by David's own hand. OP, from now on, whatever you want, I'm cutting this pain off. I mean it. Don't come by my house because we will not be able to support your drama any longer. You're gonna have to learn the hard way again. The only difference is now your mother and I are numb and we don't feel anything. God will show the truth. But I wanted to make sure you weren't hurt in the process. That is it. That's the whole quote from the I don't care if I don't meet with them or not. I can't handle the helicopter parenting anymore.
Yeah, that's how they know where she is.
Yeah.
Because they're